Well, here we are. It's Thursday night. It's 10 o'clock, which is most unusual. I'm normally in bed about 8, feeling dreadful. And I feel much better than I did when I came in. When I came in on Tuesday, I was weeping. My stomach was churning. I felt like worthless. I was down. I'd had a relapse. I had lunch with the inmates, as we call each other. We've been sharing our experiences, and all of a sudden I don't feel worthless, and it's already making me feel so much better. I did relaxation this afternoon. The churning in my stomach is beginning to go. The relaxation has helped. I've had a long chat with a fellow downstairs, sharing our problems. He can tell me that he cried. I can tell him that this time last week I was in tears. That on Tuesday when I came to see Dr. Macaulay in despair, I was in tears. And men don't tell each other that, but you can hear, because you've nothing to be ashamed of, you've nothing to hide. We're going to have group tomorrow, which can be quite demanding when we all tell each other how we feel and explore who's having a good day, a bad day, and we share our experiences. So I'm looking forward to that. End of my first full day. It's Friday evening, and it's been a full day, a really full day. Dr. Macaulay confirmed that he had increased the strength of my medication at the beginning of the week, and so far I've felt no ill side effects. In fact, I'm feeling stronger every day. For the first time in months, I slept all through the night and woke up quite refreshed at 7 o'clock, and then came in and had breakfast with some fellow patients. That's something that I found difficult to do before. I didn't want to sit down beside people. I had low esteem and thought they don't want me to sit beside them, etc. But I had none of those fears today. In the afternoon, we had group session, which was pretty traumatic. We all introduce ourselves, and some of us say what's troubling us, etc. And a couple of the fellows who were there today really opened up and spoke about their problems in a way which I'm told they hadn't done since they arrived. There were tears. It was good for us, and it was good for the patients involved. And we must always remember that we're here for ourselves, but you still can't help but be involved and feel for other people and help them if you can. I suffer a lot from anxiety, and it turns out so do most other people. We wake up in the morning afraid, terrified, nervous, and we don't know why. Had supper tonight, and just as we were sitting down to our main course, one of our fellow patients came to the table extremely upset, in tears. But it's distressing when you see people who, we all still put a face on in here of being happy and cheerful, and we laugh and joke, but every so often one of us cracks up throughout the day, and that's good, because he has nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to fear, and tomorrow morning he won't think, what are they going to think of me, because we're all in the same boat. I had a visit this morning about 10 o'clock from my wife and one of my sons, and I can seriously say it was a really good turning point in my life as far as this condition is concerned. Over the years I felt, not just generally but particularly as far as my family is concerned, I felt totally inadequate as a father. I felt useless. Okay, I provided a roof and earned money, but I felt I didn't give enough time, care and love to my children, although I do love them so much. And also that I wasn't a proper husband to my wife. I neglected them all when I was working, and I didn't tell them I loved them enough, and I just felt so guilty and so bad about it over the years that I felt they didn't like me, they didn't respect me, and that I had let them down. But today when they came, and I have to say I was apprehensive about the visit. I don't like visits. I wanted to come in here and get myself together and give them a rest from me. But they seemed so pleased to see me. And then it dawned on me, and it's incredible that it should have taken so long. In cognitive therapy, I was taught to think things through. And today, for the first time, it dawned on me that the thoughts that I had of how they felt about me were in my head. They weren't in theirs. That they have always loved me, they've always respected me, and they've always taken care of me. And that they don't think of me as pathetic, and they don't think of me as a bad father. Those thoughts were in my head. And now that that penny has finally dropped, and it seems so obvious, I feel so much better about myself and about the family. It's Saturday evening. It's about 9:30. And I'm tired. It's been a long day. I was slow to sleep last night. We had some traumatic experiences throughout yesterday at group, etc. And some people are still quite desperate and sad, and it gets to me when I think, when I worry about them. And the more you get to know people, the more you get to care about them. And I thought perhaps more than I should do about that last night before I went to sleep. There are 3 people here that I'm particularly concerned about. Saturday is not full of activities, but we do have group on Saturday. And the group on Saturday is slightly less formal and less serious than during the week. It's taken by Ken, who's one of the chief nurses here, and he's excellent at it. He simply speaks to us all, asks us to give him a review of how we feel over the week. Have we improved? Are we standing still? Are we going backwards? What's happening? And almost everyone said they had improved. They still felt bad, they still got anxious, etc. But they felt they were moving in the right direction. We had a free afternoon and lots of people had visitors. And it was strange. You could see everyone smiling and laughing, and if anyone had come into the room or the building, they would have thought, who are the patients here? Everyone's happy, laughing, etc. But when the visitors went, you could physically see the relief and the strain on the patients' faces. They were delighted to have visitors, but they had to put on this sort of front of being better and not being ill and being cheery. I felt today, and I have felt for the last couple of days, that there's a particular lady here who doesn't like me. I've had this in the past, and it's become an obsession, and I've got myself really upset about it. However, this time I'm not going to get upset. I don't know whether this dislike for me is in my head, or whether it really is in her head, and that really is the way she feels. If she does, that's her problem, not mine. Nothing unpleasant's been said or whatever between us. It's just something that I feel, and something that would have bothered me a lot in the past. We had 3 new patients in today. We'll try and introduce them round and show them the ropes and make them feel at home, because we all remember the daunting experience of coming in for the first time. And in so doing, we all feel a little bit better. So it's really a two-way trade. Unfortunately, one of the patients this evening had a bit of a relapse, a bit of an outburst, and was almost violent, was shouting and screaming, etc. And that's very distressing. Some of the ladies were badly upset by it. The staff took care of it, of course. I've seen people like that before, and I know they can get better. Tomorrow, we're back to days, Mondays, full of activities. And yet again, I'm feeling better and looking forward. It's Monday night, and I've had a rotten day. Last night, as I said, I felt someone one of the patients didn't like me, and that upset me. I thought I'd thought it through properly, and I thought it was their problem, and I tried to cope with it and put it in a box. But I didn't sleep well. When I got up this morning, I was crying, and it really got to me, and I felt bad. I felt, have I been saying too much? Have I been saying the wrong thing? And all of a sudden I didn't want to be in the company downstairs, and I felt dreadful, which was fine, but I got through group, dried my eyes as it were, and went out for a break to have a cup of tea. And 5 minutes after tea, the lady involved, because all the time I'm thinking it's my fault, I'm imagining it. The lady involved came and asked to see me, and we went round the corner to a quiet spot, and she apologised. She explained that it wasn't a matter of liking or disliking, it was a matter of she had a problem with newcomers, and that she didn't like to talk to them because she felt she'd have to tell her story all over again. And I understood that, and I thanked her very much and apologised. And then I got not back to square one, but back to realising that that sort of thing shouldn't have had that effect on me. I should have known that it was nothing personal. But you know, when you're a bit low, you can't help but take that on board. It's Tuesday evening, and I'm feeling much better today. My confidence has returned within the group. I still fear social situations outside, but my confidence has returned amongst the people, the inmates that I'm with in here. I had a comfortable day today, and I felt I could contribute at group. I'm still a little anxious, but it doesn't hurt. It's not painful anymore. I feel that the increase in medication, albeit 1 week since I started it, has really been beneficial. Tomorrow is another full day, and I look forward to that. The activity in the morning is excellent. This morning I found it difficult to get out of bed, but I wanted to, and I did, and I was down for breakfast by 8:25. And considering that last week I was sleeping all day, as a matter of fact, and getting up at 5 and then going back to bed at 8. Considering all of that, I've had some full days, which makes me more tired, which means I sleep better and I get up feeling better. I had an emotional blip, as you know, yesterday. That's all sorted, and I've learned my lesson yet again. I feel I'm ready, as I said, to go home tomorrow. I hope Dr. Macaulay will agree with me on that. But I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't been able to come in here last week. When I think back to how badly I felt compared to now, I thank God for this place, and for Dr. Macaulay. When I took part in the video where we went to France with my kids, when I looked at that, I thought, Struth, I never thought I'd get to that stage. And it redefined my relationship with my 3 sons. One was tremendous. He helped me, he nursed me and understood. The other 2 were a little bit afraid of me. They didn't know what had happened to their dad. And on that day that we spent together, we rediscovered each other, and I rediscovered the fact that I was their father and they weren't looking after me. And that was one of the biggest steps towards my complete recovery, not only mentally, but recovering my relationships with my family and the rest of the world. I also saw a middle-aged, overweight man that really didn't take care of himself. And since then, and since I saw that image, I've lost 2.5 stone. I swim, I take care of myself, I spend time with the boys. I've got interests, I'm going on holiday, and I'm 100 miles away from that little overweight man who had lost his self-esteem. Invaluable for me. I still go back to see Dr. Macaulay. My medication is very much reduced, and I'm a real person again. I've been given my life back. And that I would never have believed 5 years ago. So if anyone else is watching this, student or doctor or patient, please believe me, there is life. You do get your life back.